answer today, and then I should hear back by like no later than Friday if they think I'm gonna be a good candidate for the interview. Because if I am, it's gonna pay me 60 per hour. Yeah.
That's good.
Hell yeah, bro. You know how many fucking hookers and cocaine I can buy with that?
At least 5.
At least five.
That's 124K a year.
Yeah, I round it to 125 because it's like 124.8, you know. So I'm just like that $200 is going. That will be the most I've ever made.
Makes sense.
Yeah, hopefully I can keep that ball going and go further. Because honestly, just like 100 in New Jersey is not enough. It sounds like it's enough, but it really isn't. I'm thinking that extra like 25K kind of be like the game changer for me. I need to get wireless headphones so I can grab this bread. We got some sandwich meat.
It's funny how I get recommended the Pandora's collection, even though I already own every single game in it.
Well, yeah, this goes to show you that their software is not. Because if I were coding that, I would make sure that I have software that checks users and like, oh, if you own this game, let's offer you a different game. That's something. Um,
Well, no, it's the collection for Borderlands. It's just the collection of every single Borderlands game ever. But I already own them all, so
right. So you shouldn't be targeted for that ad. Is what I'm saying.
it's just automatic. Everyone gets it.
It's just poor coding. Is what I'm saying.
Ooh, I like that skin.
Let's see here.
Wait, well,
I got like
I've never seen anyone ever run this.
what is it?
On
It's Chipotle mayo. All right, let me see what you got going on. Oh, that skin is actually. Oh, dude, I actually like that. He's like a weird Colonel Sanders.
okay.
What is
Yeah,
this?
give Colonel Sanders a top hat. Wait a minute. You're not dead. Yes. Now I can finally get off this glacier. Claptrap, your metaphorical ship has finally arrived. Oh, I've got something for you. Take this echolocator. F3.
Hey, you work in Target, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts of like if you buy, let's say like mayo and then the seal was already open? Do you think I'm gonna get sick, or should I just take it back and get a replacement?
They'll likely be fine. Most of the time, when the seals are open, it's something on the employee's behalf, and it's not usually that bad.
Yeah, it
Especially,
doesn't smell bad.
It depends on the shelf life of something because the employees usually like multiple times a day have to go through every aisle and check things. So unless like multiple different people purposely left it there, it's probably only been there for like a day, like that.
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
So yeah, you'll be fine. Especially if you don't get sick within the next 24 hours, there's no reason to throw it out.
Right, yeah. But that's the thing though. I don't really want to get sick.
Have you
Uh, I
already
th-
have you already tried it?
no, not yet.
Well, it should definitely be fine.
I
It's
think
like
it's gonna be fine, man. Yeah, I don't have no like pussy ass jeans.
it's definitely not been out for longer than a day, and most things have once you open them have a shelf life of like 2 hours before it needs to be refrigerated, but like that's not like exactly true. Like yeah, there's a risk of things like salmonella and E. coli, but not like huge. Like it rarely ever actually happens. Like take like pizzas that are left out all day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna be all right. I just don't want to have to go all the way back there to make the change. I'm sure I've eaten worse, and I haven't gotten sick. So hell yeah, let's go. Making me these sandwiches, trying to save this money.
Yeah, I mean, for shopping, you can always just take the lids off of most things that don't that have like a sealable one under it, and then just put it back on.
Mm-hmm.
Was it just the seal that's open? Was it like still with a lid on it?
Yeah, so it's one of those squirt bottles, and then you know how it has like a sealant, like a white one
Oh,
underneath it. So that one was like it was like halfway off.
what's the expiration date?
Mm, it is May 30th, 2024.
So yeah, it probably hasn't been like open for an extremely long amount of time. Especially since it's like something with eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Great! Just let me get this door open and we'll hunt ourselves a bullymong. Onward, seeing eye minion! Let me know if I'm gonna run into anything.
Are you gonna pick up Mortal Kombat?
No.
You don't like games like that, or you just don't like Mortal Kombat?
I mean, like, I I'm fine with traditional fighting games, but like, I don't play that many fighting games. I mainly just play Brawlhalla. I don't know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm also more of the type that'll like one game a lot more than like many games. So I have like long stretches of me playing specific games, and that's why like I'm not very often to try new things because I know how I am. Like people always be like recommending games to me, and I'm like, well, what? Like it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna immediately hate it. Like I played a lot of games that I've just liked, but I often have more fun playing games that I already know that are fun and doing like challenge runs and stuff. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's fair. Yeah, I'm like that.
But like I have thousands of hours in Borderlands and the Persona series and the Fallout series and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which ever so conveniently, those are all RPGs. I wasn't even really thinking about that, but yeah, maybe I just like RPGs. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I
I
like
mean,
RPGs a lot.
I also have a couple thousand hours in Brawlhalla too, so that's not an RPG.
Yeah, I was talking confused about the Fallout stuff, especially like Fallout 1776, I think.
It's 76.
Yeah, 76.
It's surprisingly a lot of people in this server played Fallout 76.
Yeah, so it doesn't sound like it's like dying. It doesn't sound like if I like
Well, the
go
problem
into
is
it.
the game is becoming even more beginner friendly and less old player friendly.
Hmm. That's
So the
why
game
if I were to
rewards
go
people
into
who
it,
are willing to pick up the game, not people who are willing to stick with it.
right? So that's where like I would be happy about it then.
Yeah, like what's it? There's Wastelanders, Alcohol DLC, forget its name. Second DLC basically doesn't exist. Steel main story. I mean, there's like 9 different quest lines to go through. Like, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's expeditions. There's fucking daily ops. a lot of events, public stuff. Like, there's a lot to do in Fallout 76. I mean, if you wanted to get into it, if you like, I play on an Xbox. If you wanted to get, you can get it for free with Game Pass. But yeah, I'd be willing to play with you and like help you out, learn the game. I don't play the game very often on my own anymore, just because I don't really have a reason to.
Gotcha. I have like an Xbox Series like X or whatever, the newest one.
Yeah.
Can we, if I play on that version of Xbox,
Yeah,
can we still play?
It works. Yeah.
Okay.
The game's not cross-platform, but it is cross like that.
Okay, like generation Xboxes,
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's just load times, but I'm not willing to buy a new Xbox for better load times because it doesn't matter. Because all I play on my Xbox is 76.
Yeah, that's fair. And then he was mentioning, I guess they started off as like RTSs, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
What did?
I don't know if you play RTS though, but
What's an RTS?
you know, like StarCraft, Warcraft. Yeah, so game models like that would be an RTS. This so it's like real time strategy.
Oh, I mean, the thing is, especially with how most of the builds work, not really. Vault 76 is more like if you well, it's describing it like this sounds kind of stupid, but it's like if you made Fallout multiplayer. Take like the skill trees from like Borderlands and apply them to Fallout is exactly how I describe it.
Gotcha.
Where you have you have limited, well, except it's a little bit different. Basically, you have limited special, similar to how you have limited skill trees. Not counting legendary perks, you have 52 special, and everything starts out at 1, and then your build is determined based on where you put your special. Like for example, like that's basically it. It's been very optimized because the game is decently old, but yeah.
Right.
Also,
Yeah.
another thing your build is based on is the gear you get, because legendaries are random completely, entirely. And so, like, for example, like most people in the game use what's known as a bloody build, which means you do more damage the lower your health is. And then you run a lot of like RNG based things to try to keep yourself alive. Of course, even with that, you can still never die as a bloody build. So a lot of the time, it's just worth it to be a bloody build. Except I don't know, when you like walking through a nuke zone and you die to radiation. But
yeah.
one of the greatest synergies in the game is bloody builds and stealth builds, because you're never getting shot at, but you're also doing way more damage.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the bloody build reminds me of like Diablo builds.
Yeah, but also like yeah, basically when it comes to legendary effects, the builds are just divided in half between full health and bloody builds. Like there's essentially nothing else really that goes into full health stuff. There's a couple ones that cross over, like anti-armor is good enough that you can use it on both bloodied and non-bloody builds. Because there's stuff that isn't just the bloodied legendary effect that makes you do more damage at lower health, which is Nerd Rage and Adrenal Reaction. Which even with just Nerd Rage and Adrenal Reaction, you do 100% more damage. Oh yeah, and most of all of the damage numbers are balanced around being like 10, 15, 20, or 50% bonuses. Depending on how they work. Except stealth builds, because it's Bethesda and they don't know how to balance stealth builds. But no, like honestly, it's a nice game because if one of your friends has Fallout First and you own Game Pass, you literally can spend $0 on it, try it out, and decide if you want to keep going or not.
Yeah, I like that. That's actually really cool.
Cause like I have essentially infinite junk. I have private servers. I have lunch boxes so you can get more XP. I've studied the XP system in it because you know I'm a fucking when I get into a game I'm super into it.
Oh
People
yeah.
people will take like weeks and months just to get to level 50. I could get you to level like 200 today if I wanted to.
Yeah, uh that's a guy who's been playing the game.
Well, I'm level 1000, and how the XP works in the game, every time you level up, it takes 150 more XP to level up, and it maxes out at 1000. So to get from level 1 to 2, you only need 150 XP. But to get from level 999 to 1000, you need 150,000. And, well, basically how that works is getting to level 100 takes as much XP, or getting to level 200 takes as much XP as it gets to level 300. Getting to level 300 as much as it gets to level 400, it just keeps going on like that because of how it works.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, it can scale, like, super exponentially. I mean, you can start downloading it right now. We could even try it tonight.
Yeah, I'll start downloading it once I have to like I don't have enough like HDMI cords, so I have to remove my PlayStation, put the Xbox on there, and then
I mean, all you have to do is start downloading it and then unplug the HDMI.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See. I'm gonna try Booty Bay. Normal.
Yeah, have
It's
you
been a
played?
while since I played Warcraft 3.
Have you played any other Fallout games?
Nope. Nah, I was like super interested when Confused, because like Confused showed me all of them, and they started Fallout 1, 2, 3 started out as RTSs, and then they moved away from that, and then he like piqued my interest on for like Fallout 76, and I was like, oh okay.
Have you played Starfield? I don't. Have you played Skyrim or like any Bethesda game like that?
So I own Starfield. I haven't played like Elden or like Skyrim. It's games I heard of, but I just never really played them.
So basic, I'm trying to think of similar games. Well, Fallout 4 and 76 moved towards a more resource based system, but um, go from for Fallout 3 New Vegas, your main resources are just essentially your caps, which is just the money of the game, and like your ammo and stuff like that. But Fallout 4 is a bit different because they added like building materials. So like for Fallout 4, one of the biggest mechanics essentially is settlements, where you build up like settlements of people and stuff. Fallout 76 kind of changes that around, where instead of having specific locations where you're only allowed to build, you can place your camp in anywhere that doesn't like mess with anything. So yeah, you can like build your own custom bases. Honestly, in the end game, there's only like 3 things you can do. 2 of them they kind of fucked up. Is fight raid bosses and get new gear. Build camps and PvP. PvP is absolutely ruined, so I'm not even gonna like explain how that works to you.
Well, okay, gotcha.
A long while ago, there's a set of really broken weapons called legacies. Basically, anything that was did laser damage and was explosive was removed from the game because it didn't really make sense and they were very unbalanced. And then recently, I think in like 2022, they ended up removing all of those from the game. Which, by the way, that was 4 years after the game came out. So, but basically, the PvP meta was so tankiness oriented that nobody would really die. But legacies were like the star stapled child of being able to kill people regardless of that. And they got rid of them. So, yeah, you can't really do PvP anymore. Because PvP is basically just 2 people standing in front of each other, not able to die now because of that.
Oh.
Which usually with PvP you see much different systems, more like, you know, oh, people are doing too much damage. Not a Fallout 76 at you. people are too tanky. And there's also a lot of crutches that just prevent you from dying, so.
Oh, yeah.
Like a perk named Power Armor Reboot, which gives you a 45% chance to just not die.
Man, it's been like so long since I played this.
Actually, that's one thing I miss about Fallout 4 to 76. Power Armor is like still really good in Fallout 76, but in Fallout 4, that shit is overpowered.
Totally kidding. Screw those guys.
Like normal gear would give you like, I don't know, 30, 40 ballistic resistance, 40 energy resistance. You get a single piece of power armor, that shit would give you like 300.
Dude, what the fuck? Playing these these undead characters, they sound like Morty off the show.
Morty. Actually, I need to see if my Xbox is okay. I spilled water on it one time and it started making weird noises, so I unplugged it and then like put I like damped it down with a towel. I don't know if it still even works.
You better like just like throw it in a bunch of rice.
I mean, that was months ago, so I don't think I would do anything at this point. The water is probably gone, but I don't know if I like broke it or anything.
Yeah, as long as you didn't try to power it up like
No,
afterwards, like real quick.
Been touched ever since. I haven't used my Xbox in months. That's why I just didn't care. I was like, whatever. I mean, I don't even use it, so.
Right, yeah, so it should definitely be fine, but just be on the safe side. Let's see. So I can upgrade the Halls of the Dead. I don't know if that's even worth it. Ow.
I forgot to get grenades, so boom boom. They're not gonna be free.
Big ground unit's ability to carry items.
But yeah, the best way I can describe Fallout 76, actually, I'd say that this is the best part about Fallout 76, is there is a ton of systems that are not in your favor when it comes to luck, but at the end of the day, skill is what makes the difference.
Oh, skill is always gonna make that difference.
And I've very much like I did this one thing a long while ago where I took a brand new character. This is with, well, of course, years of experience, and I brought him up to the end game level without any assistance from any other characters or any other players, and I was able to like absolutely crush it. Basically, just to prove the point that at the end of the day, Fallout 76 isn't as like, because people will always, that's the funniest thing about Fallout 76, is people will respect you more up until you hit like the level 300 to 500-ish range, and then the respect will go down for you from that point onwards.
That's funny.
Especially new players. New players hate higher levels. They love to call us toxic and all of these stuff about us, and I'm like, you realize we're half of the reason why it's keeping the game alive. The only reason we're toxic is because we've been dealing with bullshit from everyone for years. And honestly, I don't see myself as toxic at all. Like, I've helped so many people, new players and whatnot in the game, and with no expect for any reward because, well, yeah. I mean, what are they gonna do for me?
Right.
Oh my god, a bushwhack. Wait, what's the grip? I think I saw Hyperion. The reload's on it slow.
Accolade.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. Trying to think of other games you might have played that operate similar to Fallout 76. I mean, at the end of the day, what you need to remember is it's an MMO that's not balanced around monetary stuff, which means it's balanced around time. A lot of the stuff in the game is restricted on time. Like some of the best gear in the game can be locked behind months worth of hopping on the game for like an hour every day. So,
Mhm. Yeah, no, I'm familiar with like MMOs because I played a lot of Lord of the Rings and a lot of Final Fantasy online. So those are typical games that I have been playing.
I mean, what I guess it is one thing that we never really appreciate enough is with that game is like the only thing there or no, I'm not even gonna say the only. There is 0 items that are time locked that you can get through monetary gain. Like there's a couple things like you can get like if you get the subscription, you get a private server, a storage that can hold infinite ammo, and one that can hold infinite junk. Um, and then repair kits that allow you to repair your weapons without using resources, which you can also grind for better versions of, by the way.
Oh, okay. I see.
So yeah, and that's it. You get the better ones some raid boss in the game.
You've helped a foolish old man look far more badass than he deserves.
Also, yeah, there's 3 raid bosses, and all of them can essentially be soloed in minutes.
Nice.
A trillion thanks, Vault Hunter.
That's another thing. The game, despite having like what 16 player servers and all the events inspired to be like,
Thanks, Vault Hunter.
you know, done in groups, is very soloable. And I mean, take this from a player who's probably beaten every like boss in the game in minutes. So,
I'm referring to myself.
okay, bad barrel. I'm not gonna take that. Hyperion.
A trillion
Gotta
thanks, Vault Hunter.
speed up this gameplay. This thing is a little too slow.
Far more
Oh yeah, and then for Fallout 76, there's of course builds.
thanks, Vault Hunter.
Some of them are horrible, not in like their unusable sense, but more of like, I mean, well,
A trillion thanks, Vault Hunter.
the thing is there's no like build that's bad in like the tools it gets. In fact, I think like some of the worst builds in the game have more tools than some of the best builds in the game. But at
Right.
the end of the day, literally all it ever comes down to is what guns you get. So of them, I'm just gonna group melee into one category, even though there's technically two-handed, one-handed, and unarmed. It's just melee because you can just change between the perk cards for whatever you want to use.
Right.
So there's melee, pistols, shotguns, heavy guns, rifles, and then some fully automatic rifles, which I group differently because there's some weapons in the game that are non-fully auto rifles and ones that are fully automatic. But realistically, the best builds for rifles are just the automatic ones, but turned into semi-auto. So,
Hmm.
I mean, if you want higher damage for less bullet cost, whatever, but I'm going to be giving you infinite ammo, so it won't matter.
Infinite.
should,
Let's go.
no, I should,
A trillion thanks, Vault Hunter. You've
yeah,
helped a foolish
hold on.
old man look far more badass.
I'm gonna end stream and open the game and try to get this shit set up. Now that